I want to talk about the idea or a pattern that I've seen which makes people not shift in their desired reality, and what is the common thread in all the stories, because in my coaching practice and in my membership channel and so far whatever I have talked with any person regarding the law of assumption, and they are repeating the same thing, which is the old story, which the Bible refers to as the old man. What is the old man? The old man is your old identity, and we are deeply I can't say deeply enough how deeply we are identified with the old story. We repeat it religiously, we repeat it with like it has some kind of a romantic or I don't know what kind of obsession we have with it, but we repeat it every day. Oh, I don't see any change in my reality, this is not happening, nothing is happening, I'm still the same. And then our internal monologue is based on the old identity. So I wanna sort of paint a picture, right? For example, I am standing here right now in the middle of this forest, right? Now this is my identity, we call Adeel, right? My persona. But my spiritual self, I am, is like the entire universe is surrounded around it in potential, right? All the realities that I could possibly go to, I have access to them, all of them. But I keep on walking towards a certain fixed trajectory because I do not think drastically different every day. I wake up and I repeat the same things, I say the same things to myself, I meet the same people, I go to the same office. I'm not saying you should quit your job, but I'm trying to say that we repeat the same story. We talk to other people, we complain the same way, and we do the same things, and we are identified with the same old story. So nothing changes, right? Now, past does not exist, it's just memory. Future will never come because there is only now moment. So in the now moment, when you remember past, you are reinforcing the same trajectory in your reality. You are reinforcing the same reality that you are kind of going through, right? So when you say that for example, I never get love because this and this guy did wrong to me, or this woman did wrong to me, you are reinforcing the same pattern, that more people will come in your life and they will repeat the same pattern. Because the story is what? The story is that I get short end of the stick when it comes to love. Same goes for money, right? If you're every day thinking and complaining about the bills, and that is all so-called very rational or logical, okay? Complaining is very satisfying because it's rational and it's logical, but this reality is an illusion. If you're trying to shift to a new reality, why would you put your focus on what is? Because what is an illusion of your own I amness, right? Now it is very hard to understand from the rational so-called mind because it's a spiritual concept, right? So you have to subscribe to some sort of spiritual uh, philosophy like Neville Goddard's law of assumption, or we go even far ancient into the Kabbalion, the Hermetic philosophy, and there is the Hinduism philosophies, and there are many philosophies, right? The Christian Science, the Bible is a full-on manual for how to create your reality, but people take it surface level and they get into religiosity, and I don't want to get into that rabbit hole. But the basis point is this, that you must understand that you are a spiritual being having a temporary experience. Neville Goddard says that God became man so that man may become God. Now it's a very grandiose statement, but what it essentially means is God is the infinite being who is alive in everything. This tree is not a tree, it's the essence of God lives within it. So every man is God individualized, and God created everything, so now God is experiencing its own creation through all these vantage points. So you are in the middle of your own world, you have your own perception based reality, it's all you, everybody is reflecting you in your reality. Other people exist, it's not to say that nobody exists. but you are in your own sphere of creation with your I am assumptions and your perceptions, and things reflect you. And every single point and now moment that you are surrounded still by infinite potential, always, all the time, every day, every waking moment. So the pitfall or the recurring thing that people keep on going through is they are identified with the past and the story that they tell themselves. They have an identity, and this identity went through some traumas, experiences, all this stuff, you know. There are a lot of bugs here. And basically, all of that is so-called real, but as that is one part of infinite reality. That is one potential reality, right? But you give everything to it. You give all your creative power, you give all your emotional power, thoughts, feelings, identity to it, so it stays. And recurring things keep on happening. Now, when I was in Malaysia 2 years ago, not two, yeah, approximately, but I was in a long distance relationship with my wife, right? She was in Russia. It was already 2 years that we were in long distance relationship. COVID was there, no flights, nothing. And you have seen the videos that people say, oh, long distance relationship doesn't work, blah, 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 all this crap, right? I never paid attention to it. I became aware of a new reality, my life in Russia, married to her, living here, right? While I was in another, literally, physically, and emotionally, and physically, I was rooted in some other country with no sort of view in sight on how I'm gonna come here. But I imagined it, I affirmed it, I identified with it, and it happened, right? So I was where I was, and all around me was showing me the opposite of what I want. But I stayed true to who I say I am and who I identified with, and reality shifted me here. And when it happened seamlessly. So I changed the story, is what I'm trying to say, right? If I had kept on telling myself the story, the realistic crap, well, I would have stayed, the same. The realistic, so-called the logical path leads nowhere, because logic can only discern from the past and what skills you have. While you are doing godly work, how do you expect to do God's work with a man's mind? That's absurd, right? Logic doesn't work. So the point is, this old story is the trap. Every single person who talks to me, most of you, not all of you, but I see the recurring thought, and it's not to shame or condemn. I have been there. We all do it. This is a very human experience, right? It's a human experience. God is in flesh, but God is in flesh completely. So much so that it can't see itself anymore. And you have to put emphasis on it and identify with it every day with your I amness, and speak to it and become it and experience it to awaken it. So this is a very human experience. We do that, it happens, it's okay. But you do this cliche manifestation sentence that you do not manifest who you want, what you want, you manifest who you are. Why? Because who you are reflects everywhere. What you want is a desire, but if you don't have it in mind, you will not see it here, because it's a reflection. The world is a reflection. See, so you have to shift into that reality where you already have it, and you do it in mentally. Remember, in this point, you are already surrounded by all potential. It's already within your grasp of I am. It's there, you have it, right? It's happening, all is happening right now. It's within you, it's all around you. So when you choose, and then you immediately reflect back and you start to see the past story again, and you keep on going back to the old story, well, you say one thing, but then you become and you do another thing. So the proof is not in the world, proof is in within you. This is literally a manifested illusion that already manifested from the old story. How can it show you who you are being within, right? It's gonna transform, it's gonna fall away on its own. As in the Bible, Christ said that let the dead bury the dead. Like the dead, this dead reality will bury itself. You do nothing with it. You don't look for proof in it. And he says, like, why do you look for the living among the dead? he said in the Bible. And it's a very psychological and thing, spiritual thing, that this is a dead world. Why are you looking for the living? The living is you. The living God, the temple of God is I am, is within you. So you are the proof. You stay with your new identity, your new story, just like religiously you repeat the old story, repeat the new story and see what happens. So I guess the pitfall is the old story. Let it go. Be disinterested in it, be disinterested in the world of the dead, and go amongst the living and live there and see what happens. So this is it for this video. Until next time, bye bye.